If you're having suicidal thoughts or feelings or feel like you have no hope, please call 988. There, you can talk to someone who not only cares about your story, but cares about you. Please reach out today. Thomas P. Murphy once said, "Minutes are worth more than money. Spend them wisely." At Minutes Wisely, we take that to heart. Our mission is to decrease veteran suicide by providing life-changing experiences for veterans, first responders, and Gold Star families. We believe that we can make a lasting impact by rekindling a sense of purpose and fostering community through sponsored tickets to sporting events. These experiences are not just about the game, they're about the moments that can change lives. A simple sporting event can boost joy and instill a sense of renewed hope and purpose for those who have served. Join us in making a difference, become a moment maker, and empower a veteran with rediscovered hope. Visit minuteswisely.com for more information and to get involved. Together, we can make every moment count.
Good Sunday evening, fellas. How y'all doing?
Hello.
Hey, finally, the storms have kind of subsided.
A little bit.
Been raining all day, but we just found out Josh is pretty much just in the same area as us, about 45 minutes a little north of us. But we have been under attack for the past 4 or 5 days, man. It's been crazy. Oh, man. So anyways, Josh, thanks for
coming, Josh.
for joining us, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me, brothers.
Yes, so we're going to get Josh's story here in a second. So I just want to give you a little breakdown here. So Mr. Andrew, the man with 4 names, Richard Andrew Stephen Farr.
That's right.
I asked him if he wanted to do a podcast with me, 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Long time.
Kind of exploded, started making a little bit of money. It wasn't my intent to profit off of people's stories, war stories, veteran stories, or whatever stories you have. So I turned it into a nonprofit, right? So now we send veterans, first responders, and Gold Star family members to awesome events. And it's been a great ride in the last 4 years. And we actually won a national podcast award doing this.
We did.
Wow.
So we're very
Nice work, guys.
Best Navy podcast 2022, baby.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. So
Fleek was, I was shocked. Fleek was over the moon. It's like he called me up. He's like, "Andrew, we just won." I'm like, "We won what?" He's like, "We won this podcast, Best Navy podcast." I was like, "Holy shit!" That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
That's G, guys.
yeah, it's pretty awesome. So yeah, we just Sunday nights we sit down and we talk to veterans and get their life stories. So
And it's non-scripted. There's no script. We just go off the hip. You know, we're not trying to outdo other people. We're not a Joe Rogan. We're not a Sean, what's his name?
Ryan?
Yeah, we're not a Sean Ryan show. We're just here talking to veterans and by our conversations trying to help other veterans get through a tough time if they're having one. That's it. We're not in competition with anybody. We're just sitting down with anybody. If you are the pogiest of pogues or the most operator of operators, we're going to talk to you because we want to hear your story forever on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Plus Podcasts.
Had a very big range of guests. We've had fighter pilots, we've had SEALs,
Special Forces guys, Top Gun pilots, Vietnam vets,
a spy pilot.
A spy pilot. Oh yeah. Oh, that was a good one. Yeah,
good one.
We even had Lieutenant Colonel Eric Stuart Scheller. Sorry, not Eric. Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller on a 45-minute. Now that was kind of scripted. That we had to keep that nice and tight because that guy he had a time crunch. So we kept it.
And that was, yeah.
non-squirrel, so I basically did not talk a lot.
Andrew likes a squirrel a lot.
Fifth
A little
name,
bit.
Squirrel.
A little bit.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I had to say that, man. I had to say it.
he's very into himself too.
Oh, I am really, really. Yeah, well, a lot of my haters. Yeah, that's it. I'm all about me. It's all about me. It's not about you guys. It's
Yeah, there's a lot of
Fleek.
haters out there.
Fleek, get out of here. But I did have your back today, man, Fleek. I did. I had your back. Even when we were chastised and given constructive criticism on having to run this podcast, which I thought was hilarious. And I'm like, my first phone call was to Fleek. I'm like, Fleek, you have no idea what just happened. And I defended your ass. Hey, listen, this is Fleek's show. I'm just on for the ride. And this has been the best 4 rides of my entire life. Okay. I love this podcast and I love what Fleek is doing. And I'm still honored, guys. To our 50 countries and 662 cities that are listening to this right now for what Fleek and his brainchild of Minutes Wisely and TSP, the Scuttlebutt Podcast. So thanks, Fleek.
Yes. All right, Joshua, would you like to introduce yourself to
Please, man.
our listeners?
Yeah. Sure. What's up, listeners? Good to see you all and hear you all. Well, you to hear us, I guess, technically. I'm excited to be here because I have a very different story than most veterans. And I live here in Clarksville, Tennessee, so I'm right outside of the base, almost screaming eagles in the house. What's up? But, the deal was I was all about it. Like, I was a real aggressive kid growing up, super macho, super physical fit. I was presidential fitness award winner year after year after year at school. Like, piss all the kids off when I got in. I was 300 PT plus every time, like without fail. I was smoking PT.
He said 300 PT. That's a Marine Corps thing, by the way.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, they fucked around and found out. Like, yes, I was high performance, and they knew what they were getting into, but they pulled me out of jail. So,
Whoa.
So I was already at MEPS. I'd already had my shit cleared. As I was telling you before we got started, I was JROTC, and like I was in the guard. I was doing all drills, like
Damn.
peak performance. Like I said, my gunny was just. He's like, man, I can't wait till you get in. And he was very disappointed when I took the route of the Army, by the way. Needless to say, I wonder why he poured his life into me, that man. But yeah, in high school, that was my goal. Most of my family was in the service, most of them Marines, some of them Army. But, it's how it was. I actually even had one squid. I'm sorry, did I say that?
It's okay. We
Gotta
need
have
the squids.
seafood, brother.
We need the
You gotta
squids.
have seafood.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got in, and it was just it was a wild ride. Like I had signed up for, I had a really high ASVAB score, like
high?
exorbitantly high. I can't remember, it was like 100.
99?
It was up higher. Yeah, it was like I swear it was 120. He was saying maybe that was
Jesus.
the IQ. It was high.
Fucking-
Like I could have picked anything.
Damn.
And all I had was a recruiter that sold the shit out of 11 Bravo. Jumped the fuck out of some planes, brother. And I'm like, yeah, fucking Rambo style. I'm like, I'm in. I get to go. And he guaranteed me, now you know what I'm saying, right? He guaranteed me some track to sniper ranger or ranger sniper track, basically.
Nice.
So I was going to be highly elite. I was going to go in and do the thing, get deployed all over for special missions. That was what in my mind anyway. So I get in 98. And how I got in was crazy because, like I said, I was already signed up. I already had a ship date. I was ready to go. And I jacked around to school, got into some drugs, and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Judge said, well, of course, my recruiter came to the court hearing and said, well, Your Honor, we've already got him signed up. So, this is an easy handoff, right? And sure enough, they loved that. So I said, yeah, I was going in anyway. I don't want none of this. Anyhow, this was just me trying to find a way to get some money so I could play until I left. And that's how it went. That was my introduction. Then I get to Benning. I'm a Cali boy. I was born and raised in Cali, man, where we surfing, we hang loose. I could breathe the air in the mountains. It's all good. And I got to Hotlanta. It was like, fucking can't breathe. I was smoking back then pretty heavily, and I was younger, of course. But, I get out there, I step out of the airport, I can't even breathe. And that, come to find out, of course, you start getting into the bus. Yeah, this is Hell's Kitchen, bro. Like, okay. So for the entire summer of '98, I'm getting my ass smoked in Hell's Kitchen. And it was great. And I was 11 Bravo the whole time. Loved it. Loved it. Right until our commander in chief decided, to hell with what they signed. We need something else. And they turned me into this designation called 11 X-ray.
What is that? I've never heard of that before.
We used a lot more expletives in the questioning, but yeah, exactly. Nobody had really heard of it. Nobody knew. So when we would ask, it's like, drill sergeants had no idea. And it's like, that's what Commander in Chief says. That's what the fuck you are. So I'm like, okay, what's the designate? What am I doing? And so X-ray, just so everybody didn't know what X-ray was, it's a holding pattern. It's we know we told you you're going to be 11 Bravo, but we're going to do something different with these boots. We don't know what. And until then, you're an 11 X-ray. So they basically transitioned the whole 1st 38th Infantry in Fort Benning to 11 X-ray. And me and my buddies, we were all really looking forward to going jumping out of planes together. You shower naked together. You start having real camaraderie. You start poking each other.
Wagon wheel.
You know what I'm saying? And and it was a grand old time.
Nut to butt, baby. Nut to butt.
Nut to butt. Absolutely. Got to stay warm, man. You can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. You can't do anything alone, apparently.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Always have your battle. And balls in hand. But anyway, when we march close too. No, I'm just kidding. I digress. I'm really not all about that. But we did have a lot of fun, and I was young. Most of the guys in my unit were young that came in basic with me. So, we got in there, got tats our first moment out, and all the good stuff that normally happens. Got drunker than a fucking skunk as often as we possibly could. And then the boot dropped. And we were no longer 11 Bravo, or half of us were no longer 11 Bravo. We went into AIT doing 11 Bravo training with an 11 mic designation, which is mechanized boot. And this was it's like, I didn't sign up to drive a fucking tank, guys. Like, this ain't jumping out of planes to me. And I got really pissed, man. I graduated. I was fine. It didn't hit me exactly what had happened at that point. So I was pissed at the fact that, that's not what I signed up for, right? Come on, honor the agreement. I wanted to fight for my country, period. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I didn't really care how, but I didn't know what that really meant. So once we got out of AIT, graduated, went back home, I got my second tat over the whole ordeal. And it was like, yeah, let's see how this goes. Let's go all in and fuck around and find out. So I thought I was going to be deploying out to 3rd ID with the rest of my battles that got 11 mic designation. I did not. I got booted over to 1st 29th in Benning, which is the biggest shit show sham unit I have ever fucking witnessed. I had nothing but NCOs that were on their last leg telling me I was a shitbird. Fuck you, Jones. Your shit's not shaved, motherfucker. Had all kinds of stuff coming out. I mean, fucking E6 here, right? And I was so this is when as you can imagine, as I'm telling the story, this is when I started to get pissed. I was like, okay, something's fucking wrong. Now, 1st 29th is right across the field from jump school in Benning, if you've ever been. So jump school everybody comes down to Benning for this massive jump school that they have. So when I got off the bus there in Benning, they dropped me off there, and I had to walk across the street to 1st 29th. It was like, this is weird. Anyway, I check in, and I get there, and I find out only one of my battle buddies is with me. All of the other guys went to 3rd ID out in Germany.
Savannah,
and of course,
right?
you can imagine, yeah, and just a few years later, they were out and deployed, and some of them I never heard from again.
Damn.
Yeah. And it was like, well, okay. I'm going to share something in the end here with some hindsight. So it's not a horrible story. Okay. This is nothing against the military. This is nothing against,
We're all
the
ears,
government,
man.
nothing like that. But personally, man, I struggled because I came out of high school ready to go to war, literally. Like I would have laid my life down and gone all day with my brothers. And so I sat in the motor pool. The M2A2 had just come out back then. So the Bradley Fighting Vehicle version 2. And,
Yep.
and so what I became basically was a glorified fucking ANOC driver. BNOC ANOC driver for these new units being formed for desert warfare. And they needed something lighter, something more maneuverable. So Commander-in-Chief decided to go ahead and shift resources around. And long story short, that's what happened. And so I'm in Benning, and I'm driving around this M2A2, like whatever, that's fine. And then I'm playing motor pool. And then I'm doing PT, and I'm getting bitched at like daily. Man, it got so bad. Like, and I told you, I was smoking PT scores. I mean, there was really nothing for them to bitch about me about. And I didn't know this at the time, but this particular unit, and in fact, I think my first sergeant was probably the only one who wasn't on his very last leg out. Top had his shit together. But all the rest of them in my entire unit, and in fact, the entire brigade practically, were just like a last leg out or some kind of holding pattern of sorts, or I can't figure out what to do with you. You're no longer cost effective. We're going to stick you here and fuck with some newbies, basically. And that's what it was. So over the year I spent in Benning, what I learned was that NCOs in that unit were just a shit show. Like their marriages were falling apart. They were taking us out to the strip clubs. We talked early on, like it was a strip club haven. Like they would bring the 6-pack, the 12-pack, the 30-pack, and then it was on. It only took a couple of weeks of being there. And like we know who was who and who would cover our ass if we came, in late or, hey, Sarge, what's cracking, right? Like we had fun last night, eh? It's like, nah, don't worry about it. And like those things were cool. But we didn't go anywhere. We didn't do anything. Right. So I'd get in touch with my guys over in 3rd ID, and right before they deployed, and that was actually the last time I talked to any of them. And I had the one brother that was with me in 1st 29th was sitting there losing his mind because he was actually more physically fit than me, and I was smoking it. But he was like really gung-ho, man. He was all in it. And eventually he went AWOL over the whole thing. Believe it or not.
Jeez.
Not even deployed. Sitting in States. Yeah. And this was not the guy. I mean, he was sharp as a tack. I mean, he was tough as nails and everything. So I saw all this happening. I wound up, what you do when you've got shit to do, right? Get in trouble. Yeah. So we went to the strip clubs, naturally got involved with drugs there. I had been coming off of my stint from high school, just selling them. So I was like, man, I could get in the middle here and play here. I'm bored. I don't know what to do. And so I started reaching up the chain. I'm like, guys, I want to go to 3rd ID. Like, can you get me orders to Germany? Can you get me out of here? I'm going stir crazy. I'm drinking a lot. I'm having problems. I'm losing motivation. And their response was basically get the fuck in line. And so, and maybe some folks have had that experience because, I hear, and I'm around lots of vets here, and I got nothing but respect for men and women that have put their lives on the line and spent the time to come and serve this country and defend this country and the values we stand for, regardless of what the conflict was, right? And I hear their stories all the time. And it's just like, man, that's so cool. I wonder if there's anybody that's got a story like mine, like where they're tainted a little bit and didn't have a good experience. They walked out with a little bit of I don't want to call it bitterness. I certainly had bitterness at the time, though.
Yeah.
And when I got out. But anyway, so the long story short of it was I just got into Party Town. And I wound up hooking up with one of these E5s that was covering my back. And he'd be the guy driving me out, taking me out, covering my ass when I was drinking and driving and things like that. And got me out of a couple jams. And he was dating one of the strippers. So as a result, as you can imagine,
did he marry the stripper?
Girlfriend. He married he was in love with a stripper.
I got a guy like that. He's on his 4th right now.
Yeah.
We just don't learn. We don't learn.
Dude, none at all.
She
It
loves
was,
me. I swear to God, she loves me.
yo, fully convinced, man. Fully convinced. But the wild thing was like, she loved it because he'd keep bringing the Joes over and she'd keep bringing her girls over. And it was fucking Money City, man. They were just making it. And that's what we had for like 6 months in that unit.
Damn.
Yeah. Like nonstop. I think we went to the strip club 4 to 5 nights a week, every week. We
Holy
were drunk.
shit.
We were drunk like fucking every night. And I mean, and this is why I'm telling this part of the story. Cause dude, if I had something to do, if I had a real fucking mission, I don't think I'd have ever gone that direction. But anyway, I digress. I had all my shit clean. I knew how to shine boots better than anybody. The one thing I hated was shaving. I don't know about you guys. I mean, we talked about beards earlier, but like something God was like, you need to stop shaving. Because every time I do it, my face would go, you need to stop this. And it was hot, obviously.
We should get him a shave shit, just like the Navy does.
No shake shit.
Shave shit.
That's funny.
It is, man. Yeah, some people got way better stories, I tell you. But
Oh,
that was it for me.
This is good, man. This is good. This is good stuff.
So this D5 took me down the road of cocaine. And I'd never been a cocaine user, really.
It's a
I mean,
hell of a
I tried
drug.
it before. It is a hell of a drug. This is some Superman shit. Don't recommend
yeah.
it for anybody. Like, wow.
Ooh.
And all of a sudden, so all that shit I had going in my mind was now like, wow. It was fucking over. So I talked to the command sergeant, the lieutenant colonel. I talked to all of them like, fuck you, basically. Get me orders. Oh yeah. I had become belligerent at that point.
Oof.
Yeah, and
Those lieutenant colonels
this was
love
about by 9.
belligerence, too.
Oh yeah, I had Article 15 after 15 after 15. I told somebody, dude, I had an Article 45. They're like, they don't have that, motherfucker. It's right there. Now I got an general discharge under honorable conditions, just to clarify that up front. My DD-214 looks good. I mean, everything's cool. But I think they realized like, wow, this guy's fucking cracking. And when my buddy had gone AWOL, that was about the 9-month mark on post or at that station. And I mean, we had just been out like buying Mustangs and driving around, and he didn't want to do anything. He had a girl back home or whatever, so he didn't want to do all the things we were doing. But it was enough to drive him back crazy. So when he left, I had like no one. I mean, I had these guys that pretended to be my friends, cover my ass. I went out, I hooked up with this one chick, brought her back to the barracks. I got an E6 in there, married, mind you, and we're both fucking banging her. It was just horrible, man. I mean, right there in the barracks. And I'm just like, and for me back then as a young kid, as a young man, I'm like, this is cool as shit. That sat with me and ate at me for like a decade, believe it or not. Anyway, I digress. One of the mental health issues of non-deployed servicemen.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went down this long stint, wound up getting me oh dear God in heaven, do I even say it? I wound up getting me a sugar daddy, if you can imagine, from Atlanta. And so he was taking me up to Atlanta, taking me to all the strip clubs, paying for all the stuff, buying me all kinds of shit, bought me a car. Oh yeah.
What?
Oh, I know. This got dark quick, right?
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh.
And I'm saying this stuff because I've not actually told a lot of this story before. And some of these guys get caught up into such dark shit because nobody talks about the dark experiences. Non-deployment dark experiences, right? Not having to. Anyway, that's why I figured this would be good for this.
To the Cheetah Club.
I think so. Yeah, we went to basically every major club in Atlanta. Yeah, that was my first exposure.
I grew up in Savannah, and I heard stories about the Cheetah Club.
They've got some dungeon shit down there in Atlanta, down in Midtown or whatever they call that.
Yeah, what's that? Peachtree Street, right?
Yeah, it was somewhere down there in the middle of downtown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and it was dark, like Dungeness, BDM shit, and it was fucking weird. But I was so tore up mentally at that point. It was better than being at the barracks, fucking shining my shoes. and knowing I'm just going to do the same dumb shit tomorrow. And it wasn't what I signed up for. And nobody wants to listen to my story. I had no advocate whatsoever. None. So Top was probably the closest thing I had to an advocate. And he'd tell my platoon sergeant, shut the fuck up and leave Jones alone, and you guys got to look out for your guys. But then, of course, yeah, do push-ups. And here I am, I'm rocking 200 push-ups in 2 minutes, and this fucker can't even do like 10, right? I mean, just super overweight, undisciplined, but he knew military ways, right? So he could bullshit his way through everything. And that's what I found in that unit, was just a bunch of bullshit artists. It was like, oh my gosh, this is bad. So I would much rather have been away from the unit, outside of Chow, which was fantastic in Atlanta, by the way. Just throwing it out there. But chowing down on some dinner mufflin was way more fun. So all the way from Atlanta, all over, we went into Alabama, because as Phoenix City, I believe it's called. I'm trying to remember back some of these names. But between Columbus and Phoenix City, there was a lot to do, and you could bounce back and forth and kind of not get in trouble. So we did that for a bit. That was me and the E5 that had the Jody girlfriend.
The Jody.
Making, yeah. She was a Jody and Megan all day. Yeah. And wound up getting into some real bad stuff as a result of that. Ultimately, I got in front of that command sergeant major one more time, and I said, sir, look, I don't mean any disrespect, but like, you either fucking separate me or I'm going to separate myself. And I mean, I had been Article 45. This is post Article 45. 45 days of duty. And so, yeah, exactly. Took all my money.
What's Article 45
Article
for me,
15 times 3.
And for our viewers?
Sure.
What is that?
Yes. So Article 15 is you're basically got 15 days of service. They dock your pay. Yeah, slap on the hand. So you get your shit together. So I had 2 or 3 of those before they said, okay, I guess we need to do something a little bit deeper for Jones here, because he's got his finger in his ear or something. So they gave me, it was called an Article 45. And part of my counseling is like, we're giving him an Article 45. I didn't know it wasn't a thing. Nobody knows what the fuck it is. It's the craziest thing. I don't even think it's in the code at all, but maybe it is.
Let me check. Keep on with your story.
Yeah. Thank you. It's funny. I never actually looked it up because I didn't really care. But now that we're talking about it, it makes me wonder. It's just one more layer of bullshit I got fed. Anyway, so, I'm still going around. I'm still driving these Bradleys and still trying to like see the end of where either I'm going to get orders or I'm going to get separated. And nothing was clear for a while. So I wound up going like into debt crazy. And I'm sure most Joes getting in, you're going into debt crazy. You got a bonus in there. All of a sudden you got a little credit because you got government backing. And I didn't realize this at the time, but that's because they fucking own you. That what you signed on those dotted lines, right, was I give ownership. And of course we'd get counseling every weekend down in Hell's Kitchen. Y'all go out, you put some of that sunscreen on because you burn your ass and come back and can't get information properly. You're going to get Article 15 over. You'll get counseled for it. That's how it was for us every weekend. Yeah. It sucked, except for the winter, of course. It's getting much sun out there, but so that's how the experience really went. And up until the point, the last few weeks, I was just losing my mind, and I went full in into as much drugs as I could get into. I went out with that E5 with his Jody in the making, and the girl that he had hooked me up with, and we just slammed coke all night.
Did you pop coke?
8 balls.
I must have blown a fucking 8-ball solo. That's how much coke I did. Yeah, exactly. And I was on cloud 969, bro. I would have fucked anything, done anything. It was a hell of a drug. And then I combined that with the alcohol we were consuming, which was insane. And I mean like fish day in and day out for months leading up to this. And we got so fucking ham.
Was your nose bleeding? Did your nose bleed a lot?
No, that's the wild thing. Because really, yeah. And I wasn't doing coke for like an extended period of time either. It was just like in we did do a line here or there,
Yeah.
mostly drinking. There's a
Damn.
lot of smoking.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
only me.
Well, back in, I don't want to go back in history. Keep it, on task, But
Sorry.
no, for me, because I was like, there was a time when my shit used to bleed, but mostly it was coughing. So I used to smoke crystal meth.
Ooh.
So yeah, I used to smoke meth, and that this is
Never
back
did
in.
that.
Yeah, that's not a great thing. No, but the amount, because it's just like Coke. When you get addicted to that thing and that feeling, you'll just sit in it and just keep going, right? That's what I figured out that night doing an 8 ball of Coke. Like, holy shit, this is just like back then when I did the smoking the meth, and I'm just rolling this thing, chasing the dragon, But that's what caused me to have bleeding there, respiratory wise. But no, this didn't cause any bleeding. Thank God. There was no outward sign that I was even fucked up for formation. I get there in the morning, and all of a sudden we have a rando piss test. I've been there for was this is 10, 12, almost 12 months. Well, I guess that was 10, 11 months because it took a little bit to separate, but so somewhere around 10, 11 month mark. And we'd never had one, not one. So there's nothing fucking random about it, right? Yeah. So come to find out in hindsight, I got thrown under the bus because this E5 who was covering my ass for 6 months, 7 months now, he knew he was going to piss hot. So he threw my name in the hat.
Oh,
they fucking,
Blue Falcon right there, man. Buddy fucker.
Yeah. So as you can imagine with my story, it was one after another, after disappointment. And I got this real deep disdain for even being there. And I was like, fuck it. What could you possibly do to me? Leavenworth my ass. I honestly don't care because when I leave, it'll be over. We're already done. I begged you to get me out of here. I begged you to give me some orders, send me with my brothers who I would have died with. Come to find out, I would have actually died with them though. So that's a whole other side of the story. But yeah, so wound up separating. He finally heard me because I was crying the final time. I said like I don't have, and I'm not just being a dick about it. Like I'm going to lose my shit, probably kill myself here. And I don't want that on your hands. And I don't want to be here one way or another. I will not be here. And that day he signed off on me being separated. So they began that separation process for me. I got 3 weeks into the process. It's usually about 21 days. So I'm almost at the end. I've got like 2 days to separate. I got everything else is already squared away. Plans to go home all done. Command Sergeant Major comes in. Jones, look at this. Shows me a piece of paper. It's my fucking orders to Germany.
What?
Yeah. And so that's right up on my 1 year mark.
Do you think they did
at that station? What's that?
Do you think they did that shit on purpose?
This is, I know I can only speculate. The things that I found out after the fact, like those are fact, but I don't know. It could have been, hey, look, I'm up on a year. He tried to make some magic happen for me. And I mean, I earnestly believe it was great. The Command Sergeant Major he was great, man. He was, I presented like a piece of shit the first time I tried to communicate to him. So I understand why he was jacking me around for a minute. But I think he really earnestly tried to get me orders and tried to pull some strings to get it done. But it was just too late. I was already separated. And, but yeah, there was a lot of fuckery there, man. And so I left, I went back home, and that began my journey into entrepreneurship. Because I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I don't ever want anybody to own me again. I don't want to build someone else's dream. I want to be able to pivot on my own accord. As I feel led, I want to make moves. I don't want someone having to tell me, hey, go run your ass into the pit, knowing I'm going to fucking die in that pit. I'd much rather go choose, and then I got the responsibility. But because I had given it up, so I had this real inner conflict, and I carried it with me for like at least a decade. I mean, I really battled that out. And it brought me to a place where ultimately I learned a lot from it, right? I think I broke every rule in the book that they had for them to throw the book at me. And to this day, I mean, if we form militia here and people are coming on shore to take away our liberties, I'm all fucking shoulder to shoulder with my brothers who fought. There are no questions about that whatsoever. I mean, we're locked and loaded. I got vets on both sides of me. We got guns galore. They know I'm trained. We can go to town. So I didn't lose any of that.
Like one revolution for three, please. That's great, man.
Yeah, it's a comment.
So
It's
you
a
said
comment.
you're an entrepreneur.
Yes,
So
yes.
what do you? So after all of this, what are you getting in? Well, I mean, what are you doing? Like, what do you do now?
So what I do is I actually take entrepreneurs on a journey of power. So one of the things I didn't have back then was power, right? I understood some authority and I understood power from like a contractual perspective, but I never really had any examples of power. So and what I find with most entrepreneurs, and it's probably why most small businesses fail early on, is they're not operating in power, they're operating from scarcity. And so all of my journey is like literally all about this. Like I was operating in scarcity, so I bought into this and I bought into that and I followed this one down this road because I myself had not entered into power. So that's what I'm doing now is we're taking entrepreneurs along a journey, building them not just the hope that they need, the consulting, which I've been doing for the last 21 years anyway, but also some coaching, right? A more holistic approach. So we're not just talking, because I would solve problems in the business arena, and then all of a sudden these problems would come up, and it's like, this isn't a fucking business problem. What is this? Like, like tactically, I'm solving your problem, but somehow it's not translating. And logically, there's something beyond that. And so what I come to find out was that, hey, entrepreneurs are just as fucked up as I was. Am. How about that? Am. And so they've got all these personal problems that are cascading into their business domain. So it couldn't just be about, hey, I'm just going to go consult you in your business, close the gap in technology for you, button some things up, teach you some things, build your team up, get you all in alignment, get you in some kind of sprint cadence. We do all of that. But there's also hey, how's your marriage doing? How's your relationship with your kids? How's your health doing? How are you holding up with all those physical ailments that you got battered at? I mean, especially for veteran entrepreneurs. Like they would carry so much shit with us, whether it's on the battlefield or not. Now, I didn't get deployed. I didn't get to see any live action like that, but I got plenty of live action. I mean, I grew up in Cali, been around shootouts.
No Cal or SoCal?
Well, Central Cal.
Ooh.
Central Cal, Bay
Like
Area.
Humboldt County?
Oh, yeah, visited many times. Yeah,
I
Humboldt
bet
was a
you
little bit
have.
north. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I was.
All my cousins live out there.
All my exes live in Humboldt. No, just
California stand.
California stand now.
What town did you grow up in?
San Jose, actually.
San Jose.
The Sharks?
Yep,
Oh,
fucking Sharks,
Jesus
man.
Christ.
Dude, back then in the day, too, they were smoking.
Back then they were good. Now
Yeah.
they're not so hot.
Yep.
But
Yep.
hey, my Bruins aren't so hot either because they're like dead fucking last. And you got this guy, the Capitals guy, just broke Gretzky's record
Today.
today. 895 goals now?
Something like that, yeah.
Jeez, yeah, Gretzky says he's going to buy him a car if he gets to 900. Did you hear that? Holy shit, that was the funniest thing ever. Sorry, that's a squirrel moment, but I had to talk a little San Jose Sharks hockey kind of them.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
Told you.
Yeah, I love it. And rightfully so. Like I said, things change, times change, seasons change, and that was the gist of my experience. Is like that thing was for a season for me to understand some things, and so that I could take it in the rest of my journey, develop it over time, and then now here in the last few years where we made this pivot of step into power and the hour of power experience and things like that, just to get entrepreneurs a hand up. So in Clarksville area, I'm sitting over here trying to network with. We've got a lot of VA support apparently now that's about transitioning soldiers. We're trying to get them, moved out in the right way. And there's a lot of, hiring stuff. And most of them are really perfect for entrepreneurship. and they've already got something spinning around that they want to do. The problem is, of course, everybody wants to take their fucking money and they don't have a lot of money, you know? And so what we did is just create a bunch of free experiences, and then we broadcast that out. And so everywhere we can go, everywhere we could talk about it. That's what we did.
Do you get to talk to these guys like during steps and taps, like separation? Like we get in a room, like I'm about to like get out of the service. Will I see your face and you're talking to all these guys that are about to like transition?
Not yet, because the VA support guy that was putting me on the roster for that apparently quit.
Oh,
Get separated. So I haven't found the next
Okay.
connect on that yet. But like we've got Operation Stand Down that's just right up the road from us here. There's a couple of different and not
Yeah.
that they're the best or anything,
hey,
but
Stand
there's
Down-
lots of these.
Stand Down is awesome.
Yeah, and they're not all of them are the best though. That because they serve a certain niche, and so it
Right.
takes a bunch of them together, and so it's not as efficient as being able to sit there with a group of guys ready to separate. And so that's one of those things I'm looking to do eventually here is get that connected back up so I can get in the room.
Good.
Yeah, we've got a military affairs committee that meets over here, just off post.
I think I saw you guys meeting on Facebook. Like you guys were sitting around it was huge. Was Tommy Baker there? General.
I don't think so.
He's the head of Tennessee Veterans Affairs.
No, I
Bald
don't
guy.
think it was there when I was there.
Okay.
No, we had the base commander in, Blanchfield commander. I didn't see any generals coming in
Okay.
while I was there.
He's not. Well, he was a general. He just got some award. I see him on Facebook all the time, and he's getting all these awards. And
Oh, I think they had a big dinner meetup, right, where he got this award. Yeah. Yes. I didn't
If
attend,
you-
by the way. Full
if
disclosure.
you need an intro, man, I have his stuff. So
That's awesome.
let me know if you want to talk to a general.
Yeah, of course. I mean, to
Okay.
me, and you saw. Yeah, I mean, I told you how I talked to the well, what do you call it? The left bird.
Yeah.
I talked to a full bird. I talked to a 2-star 4.
I
I see people anymore.
Would never do that in my
Yeah.
I would never talk to one of my lieutenant colonels. No fucking way. No, I do. I got NJP'd by one of my lieutenant colonels for drinking in Iraq, and he scared the fucking shit out of me. It was at Camp Fallujah, 2005. I got caught drinking. I was drunk on a Jersey barrier with my M16 in between my legs. Dude, I got yelled at by everyone from the top down. It was awful. And then I had to clean porta shitters for about 4 months. It was
See?
pretty awesome.
Yeah. Are you married and have kids now?
I sure am. Yeah, actually, I got married after separating. I moved. Oddly enough, I moved back from Cali to Georgia. Yeah, for the hooker I was fucking. But just to be clear, in full disclosure, when that didn't work out, when my Jody in the making disappeared, we had I wound up getting married there. I got into sales with technology, and I had a technology background, as you can imagine, growing up in Silicon Valley. So I had sales into fucking Apple and Google and Blizzard Entertainment and all these
Blizzard.
big places. Yeah, Blizzard. Anybody
Yeah.
play WoW? Since vanilla, baby. No.
Oh my gosh. All my guys played that on our third deployment. It was all WoW. World of
It's all
Warcraft,
WoW.
man. All of them. Even on post, they would play WoW on their computer in the ship. It's crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah. Just that they had the bandwidth for it is crazy.
Yeah, for real.
How they got that on the ship? I mean, this was 2007. Like that shit was like ancient back then.
Mhm. Yeah, we were still hearing. "Grr, grr, grr." For those that don't know, that's that fuckery of dial-up.
Yeah.
From back in the day.
No, I got it.
The
Please,
kids-
Please had what do you have? Coleco? What did you have back in your day? Sega, Atari. What was it?
Game console?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Atari.
Atari.
Qbert and
Qbert.
Asteroid. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I'm legit. Shit's for real.
Oh man, dude. So
Yeah,
but you're
I've got
good.
5 kids. Yeah, I wound up going through a divorce and got my shit wired a bit better and went round 2, fire for effect. Now I've got 5 kids,
Nice.
taking care of them. They range from 23. Yeah, I know, right? 23, just turned 23, down to my youngest just turned 4. Yeah, yeah.
4
Capped
to
at boys too.
23.
Yeah,
That is a nice spread.
That's a huge spread. How old are you again?
yeah. I'm 44.
Damn.
I know, right?
Wow.
If I didn't have
Hey,
any gray in here, people might
Mazel
mistake
tov,
me for
dude.
20.
Mazel
Thank
tov.
you. See, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that, brother. I feel a hell of a lot better. Actually, I feel in better peak physical health today than I did when I entered the service.
Are you
That's
Jewish?
good, man.
I'm a spiritual Jew. I know I kind of look like a Jew. I do money like
Whoa,
a Jew.
whoa. I said mazel tov. I say that mazel tov to everybody. I was not implying anything. I like Jews. I do. I love them.
I love Jews, by the way.
I went to a bar mitzvah when I was 13.
I just tripped when you said it.
I got drunk as shit off the Manischewitz at my buddy's bar mitzvah. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
It was amazing.
and the greatest food, right? At a bar mitzvah.
Oh my god.
Oh my
I
gosh.
can't stand it. I hate
Yeah.
that food.
Really?
I literally hate that food.
Do you have a bad experience?
Yeah.
What was it?
All right. I got to hear this one.
My sister's Jewish, and her kids, they all went to the bar mitzvah. I don't, is it a different name for a boy and a girl?
Yeah, bar mitzvah
bar
and then
and
a
bat.
bat mitzvah.
Basically the same thing. But I went to their house, and they had this big, huge spread, and not a fan. I left and went to McDonald's afterwards on the way home. And I don't fast food. I like bagels and lox and all that stuff. Man, that's just
Mhm.
me, man.
Yeah.
I
No, I
love
get
that
it.
I'm sorry. I love that shit. Sorry, Fleek. I'm sorry you had a bad experience, brother.
Yeah.
Like everybody has their taste, right?
Mhm.
That food's just not for me.
Yeah, totally.
No disrespect,
We got Passover coming up here. I know you probably fucks around with some lamb, right? A little
Yeah.
seared lamb.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to beat. Yeah. That nice. Yeah. That's a
I had
great
some
one.
dope lamb in Greece. Oh my god, that shit was.
I was just
Some dolmatas in Greece, right? Like authentic
The
dolmata.
moussaka, yeah. Oh, that shit is just. I'm sorry. Now I just ate a whole huge meal, and I'm still hungry. Now I'm hungry. Now I'm hungry for Greek food.
I made a Greek chicken today for dinner.
What? Good
Yes.
for you.
Posted it on Facebook just before we came on here.
Damn.
See, I love Greek food.
I was going to say, you got to love something Mediterranean or something Middle Eastern, right?
Yeah, so I'm from Dearborn, Michigan. It's my hometown. So Dearborn is literally like majority Muslim.
Yep.
And so
Thank
the
you.
food there is amazing. That's the one thing there's more than one thing that I miss, but that's one of the things I really miss is the Mediterranean food up there, man. The garlic sauce and the hummus and the chicken, naan bread.
Naan. I can kill some naan.
Every time I go home, first thing I do is go to a Middle Eastern restaurant, which, like, literally my hometown, you go, like, the main drag is Michigan Avenue or Ford Road. All the signs, everything, like, even, like, the street signs, everything's in Arabic. Like, the mayor's Arabic, the police chief's Arabic, the fire chief's Arabic. Everybody is Arabic up there now.
Yep. It's funny. You're from there. My queen is actually from just down the road there, right there at DFW, or not DFW, DTW. What the hell is that called? Damn, it's been so long since I moved her away from there.
Romulus, Ypsilanti.
It's right next to Romulus, but yeah, basically Romulus. What is it?
Belleville?
No, that's where our son lives, though. So it's one of the tiny ones down there, but
yeah.
so not too far. But when she left, or when I took her out of that place, she was like, "Yeah, Dearborn's becoming kind of like the Muslim capital of the United States." And I was like, "No shit." And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, I guess it's a good time we got you out of there, huh?"
Yeah. Yeah.
No offense, I love my brothers, but when it comes time to.
So when we left, our 3 kids went to Dearborn Public Schools, and when we left, there was literally Dearborn had snipers on top of their high schools.
Wow.
Jesus.
That's escalated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you remember that guy? I forget what state he was from. He was like the pastor that burned Qurans and stuff. Just to
Yeah.
point, I forget his name, but he came to Dearborn to protest, and so like all the Muslims were up in arms, and they literally had snipers on the roofs of high schools. You know, just watching out.
Jesus.
So
That's
I'm actually
intense.
a veteran of the year for Dearborn, Michigan, in 2011. So I was really in tight with the veteran community there, and I had a hand in every year we had a Memorial Day parade. It's the longest running parade in the state of Michigan, and actually, so one of the guys who was a Navy SEAL, he was the Grand Marshal of the parade. They made him wear Kevlar in the parade as he went down the parade route. They made him wear Kevlar.
In the States.
Yeah, he was a
Wow.
Navy SEAL. Yes,
Bam.
That's wild.
it is pretty wild. So I love the food, and the people are most of them, like it's just like in anything, the radicals, the problem is that
Radicals.
the radicals embed themselves with the good people.
Hey, you can't tell the extremists from the regular people.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So look at the last 2 years over there, right? I mean,
When I was living up there during 9/11, and when 9/11 happened, they were partying in the streets. They were celebrating it. Yeah.
that's got to be rough. We're over there, 4th of July, pop, pop, pop. And they're like, yay, 9/11. Like, oh,
Yeah.
wow, Hercules. Wow.
Oh, he's had to bring up that movie. I love that movie. Hey,
We
Josh,
start-
I got hey, Fleet, do you want, I got it up. Do you want me to?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you if you wanted to
Okay.
knock her out.
Yeah, I got two questions for you. Now, first one is going to tell me what the second question is going to be. So, give me a number 1 through 10, and do not pick 7, please.
Do not pick 7, please. That's nice. You know, that reminds me of
Yeah.
you remember the little game that you used to play? Flip it open, I try. I say 3.
3?
3. Tres.
All
Tres
right.
amigos.
This is your question. How did your military experience influence your perspective on life and adversity? Which, by the way, your whole story told us this, but to sum it all up,
Mhm.
how did your military experience influence your perspective on life and adversity?
Well, I think the biggest thing that it gave me was the concept of perspective. And it's been something that's been drawing out over time, right? Because early on, I had no perspective at all. I trusted everything the leadership said, everything people said. I didn't verify shit for myself. I just went full on, bull in a fucking china shop. Whereas today, I'm able to sit and pause with something, do some reflection, do some journaling. I add some prayer to it. Like I get some more input than just, oh, that sounds fucking great. Let's go do that. Also, it taught me a lot about just how quickly I could destroy my body. So we do 4 domains inside of the dominion of man. I didn't even mention this before. I guess one of the things now, that's just connecting a dot. I didn't mention this before, but Men's Weekly is one of the movements that we launched about, that was January of last year. So it's going almost a year and a half now. And it's the idea that like, you don't want to run this race alone, right? You got to have somebody there that's going to give a fuck enough about you to let you be where you're at and not sit and judge you, but also share their experiences in a way that's going to give you some additional perspective.
You guys hear that? Okay, write that down. That's very important. See that again, Josh? I like that.
Yeah, the idea of not running the race alone. Like the moment I ran alone in my journey, it's like I was telling you, once my only remaining battle, once he AWOL'd, I was fucking lost. I was gone. I didn't have my buddy to talk to. I couldn't talk to my buddies over in Germany because they were hitching to deploy, and I was lost. I had nobody to talk to. Nobody could relate to where I was. And so I believe a lot of my journey and a lot of my experiences were designed so that I could give other men the opportunity to expose where they're at. Because for me, I couldn't be honest about where I was at. part of what I shared today, I never shared before. Some of this stuff you got here is exclusive, brand new content that no one in the world has ever heard.
Well, 50 countries is about to hear it.
Yeah.
Light them on fire.
662 cities are listening to us right now. And our wait, is it number 1 or number 2? Germany. Number 2, right?
Number 2, Frankfurt, Germany.
Frankfurt, Germany. So Germany, hey, the German people are listening to us. Wunderbar. Fantastisch.
Yes. Yes. That's wonderful. Yeah.
Well,
so
Josh,
the idea
thank
of
you,
walking
man.
alone, man, don't do it, guys.
Yes. That's what a big part of our message is. There's no reason to walk alone.
We don't have to walk alone.
No, definitely.
Love what you guys are doing. Thank you for
Good
having me.
support system. Good support system is always nice to have. I lived by it for 8 years. I mean, 6 years ago, I was a drunk. I mean, I'm going to be 7 years sober in July, and I was lost. Dude, I blew a .25 1 mile away from my house, and my second DUI. And because of my support system and Fleek and the VFW and the Godfather, which, by the way, Fleek's other name is Godfather, because he and I and 2 other guys started a VFW here in town, and he was one of my big. He was a big supporter of me, and he helped me a lot.
What's
he really did.
Of Godfather, because that person shut it down.
Yeah, well, that person can hook both of our. Yeah.
Test these. Yeah.
We still remember. We're not going to say your name, but you know who you are.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate that. Yeah, you guys are good at 51%, so whatever. All right, enough of that. But Josh, we need to get over there to Clarksville, and we'll buy you lunch or take you out on a coffee or something, man.
Well,
yeah, that'd be great.
It'll be a while for me, man. I'm about to go on lockdown here soon.
Hey, can we tell the people at home what's going on? Like when? Like what's? Do you want to talk about that or no?
I'll give you 2 minutes. So long story short, doctor gave me some bad news. I have cancer, and Tuesday is my pre-op date. I'm going to go to the hospital. They're going to run me through all the rigmarole, and hopefully, if it comes back all positive, I have a surgery scheduled for 2 weeks. So I'll be
praying for you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, me too, man. We're praying.
Yeah,
I'll
be out of work for 4 weeks, and hopefully it's just 4 weeks, and I'm back at it. But it kind of sucks because it doesn't kind of suck. I mean, it really does suck. But in my brain, my nonprofit was really steaming, picking up. It was rolling down the hill. Let's just say that. And then I had to pump the brakes on it because obviously I have to put my health in front of everything first because, I have a family to think about. So everything, all my fundraising, everything is paused for a moment.
Hey.
Hopefully it's going to be back in the summer. Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm still continuing on while you're recovering. Hopefully June, I'm taking 2 veterans scuba diving because I'm a rescue diver, and we're going down to Panama City, and we're going to continue the good works that Fleek has put us out to do.
Yeah. So there's a lot of positives. Just a little. It's a
little hiccup.
Just a little bump in the road.
Yep. Yeah. It's like, you probably relate to this. I think I see your cross in the background there. I don't want to make an assumption, but
oh yeah,
Christian relation.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Episcopalian.
But it's funny when we talked.
Hold on, did you just snort?
I just fucking snorted. Yeah, that's how good that was. I just got my daughter snorting the other day, the young one. Yeah, she's like, she just rolls back. I'm like, what the? Oh, that must be me. You're having fun. Good. But yeah, I certainly pray for you. It's the whole idea of the test for the testimony, right? It develops in power over time. So, man, if there's anything I can do to support you, brother, you just let me know. I'm right down the road.
I appreciate it. I mean, if it wasn't for that cross, man, I would definitely be lost. Well, my entire life is hanging in the balance right there. So
that's Detroit. the Detroit jersey in the back with the number 18. That's your go-to, right, Flake?
Well, as a side note, you asked a really good question, and I think this would be another opportune time for this. It made me, my time in the service, actually, I was not a Christian at that time, by the way. I grew up Catholic, and not that that fucking means anything really, but like rigmarole of Catholicism, I grew up that. And then I became an atheist. Mm-hmm. Yep. And so, yeah, my dad had a bad altar boy experience. I mean, it went deep, man. So,
Whoa.
oh yeah. I mean, we don't have time to unpack all that, but shit. So I was like really adamantly atheist from 13 to 20. So when I got out of the service, it finally hit me like, dude, because I found out that some of my boys died, depleted uranium. It wasn't even like fucking enemy fire, man. It was our own shit.
Right.
I mean, depleted uranium munitions. I don't know if you need to bleep that out or whatever. It's probably declassified by now, but it's like these guys died, and it made me understand something about my mortality with all the drugs and all the sex and all the promiscuity and all the shit that I was getting myself into, destroying my body. That had I passed, I kind of have been fucked. Because, like, it would have been lights out. That's it. It's over. You'd like, well, you fucking, I guess you had a good time, bud. Right. And so I came to, that's when God started knocking on my door. And at the age of 20, in 2020, in the year 2000, is when I received an altar call and I received Christ. So I think that was really big,
man.
Monumentous. If that's all that my time in the service did, which it did a fuck ton more than that, but if that's all that it did, that'd have been enough.
Yeah, 100%.
Nice. That was poignant, man. That was poignant. That was great. Flake, you got anything else? Josh, thank you so much for being on our podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me, brothers.
Yes, thank you, and keep in touch, sir.
We're just down the road.
Yeah, do me a favor, stick around after I hit the stop button. I want to make sure everybody's uploaded and ready to roll. But
sure.
Thanks everyone for tuning in, and thank you, Josh. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And,
thank you, Mr. Jones.
We'll see you all next Sunday.
See you guys.
Appreciate you guys. Don't walk the road alone.